Prototype gonna be first up over for the team 2. As he got himself, gonna be versus Chicago off the bench. Chicago joined in. He's not sure if he wants to go first, actually. It's kind of looking back at the team, trying to figure out, am I first, am I last? Chicago wants to go in. Chicago also kind of confused, but Chicago also doesn't want to get too aggressive. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Oh, big stab in Chicago. Looks like maybe Prototype should be first up. Honestly, Prototype should be the first up. At this point, just let the boy play. At this point, just let the boy play. I think he was not supposed to be first. And the team was trying to figure out what's going on, but Prototype wanted to be super extra careful when dueling. Oh, knockback onto the Paladin, got him to shield the Menace. May actually be walking to this duel kind of on the back foot now that he had to use an immunity as Chicago's been able to blast him out. Mad damage on the Paladin though, playing the Crusade. Is that what Paladin swapping to as of recently? Blind by Prototype. Back it up for Chicago for just a second. Trying to see if he can maximize some more damage in there. Got those back-to-back to the Temple Strikes. Crusader strikes in. Blasted through Chicago's health little by little. Chip out away at it bit by bit. Still got wings rolling in this entire time. Crusade wings last such a long time right now. Trying to give himself a little bit more health to work with. Got himself kind of low on health. Chicago may be able to capitalize here. Big Thunder, Blessing of Protection does blast her with Elemental Blast with Beatman charging up next. Trying to see if he can maybe potentially take down Chicago. Big Zapper, Big Blaster. Oh, and Hammer down. Who's up next? Is it going to be Chilled? Looks like it has to be my boy Chill Pills versus Beatman. Red Pally versus Unholy Death Knight. Probably the most iconic duel ever. By the way, that Tabard matches that set so well. That turquoise color gonna be beat, immediately hitting Chill with a flashbang to back up behind the pillar as he's trying to avoid the Arm of the Dead as best as possible. Chill got himself lots of resources storming in, drink out of Beatman as he gets in with a stun, trying to see if he can avoid it as best as possible. Chill got a big hammer hanging over his head, big defense available for the AMS, trying to dampen as much harm as possible. It's gonna be a full Army of the Dead, trying to see if he can swing around the corner. Beat with a mad hammer crashing down on Chill Pills. Execute sentence, just execute a chunk out of Chill Pills. The Gargoyle, the Valkyrie having a hard time trying to get himself a good line of sight to actually attack Beatman. It looks like it's going to be disappearing here in a bit. Looks like it's about to fly away. But the air support not really coming through for Chill Pills at all whatsoever. Stunned by the Paladin. Doesn't have wings, I don't think, for a while, but he's got himself a big damage building up for that Execution Sentence Hammer. Chills may have to pop himself IBF in order to dampen a lot of the damage. Stun onto Beatman. Army of the Dead join in, but the main pet, the goal is, looks like it's gone. Looks like it might have been sacrificed, but Chilled is going to go for a quick blind onto Beatman. Try to make sure the pet's surround him. It's going to have the main goal charging in, and it's going to be summoned up. Beatman with the big hammers flying everywhere. Bubble to follow. Chill's may need every defense available. Does go for the AMS. I think was able to avoid a Hodge potentially. Maybe IBF. Deathback may have to be used here. Try to see if he can avoid giving him Deathback away just like that. Beatman got himself a big shield of vengeance. Chill's with an IBF. Just trying to see if he gives him just enough defense in order to be able to survive the Paladin. There goes the Deathback onto a blind. It looks like blind breaks fairly quickly. Chills does not really have a way to heal himself right now. Maybe in a bit of trouble. Wraith walking. Trying to see if he can back up out of there. Needs a little bit of time until the Deathback is gone. This is where Beatman is going to capitalize and slash him down with a wake of ashes. That is so rough. Paladins, man. This is the nerf version of Paladins too. Also, how'd you get your weapon to get all green like that, by the way? It looks fantastic. I thought it was only red like that. Big hammer onto the alley, maybe in a lot of trouble. No Cloak of Shadows for the Rogue. I think he's just dead. I think if Beatman just walks away, hammer almost does him in, but then listen, the Blade of Justice is what finishes the deal and seals him off. Beatman so far, fighting through all of these boys. Still broken and Diabolica's last one's over on team 1. To Broken, try to see if he can find a good angle sniper shot. Beatman does not know that it's right then and there, and it's going to take a pretty big hit right to the head. It's going to be tricked out of the blind, stunned by Beatman, but it's going to go for the big hammer as long as he can maximize damage on the hammer. If Broken does not have an answer for this one, got himself a little bit extra health with a survival of the Bear's Fortitude to give himself a little bit extra health. Basically a Hunter's version of a commanding shout to give him a little bit more health to work with. Sniper shot around the corner. Beatman able to send in so much range damage. Actually able to do so much to Broken. My goodness. Beatman trying to see if he can potentially reconnect with Broken. No more trick available for the Hunter. Hodge to follow. Does he get to take him down right here? He may need all the damage in the world. Got himself the big hammer. Is it enough? Turtle shell last second, but looks like Broken did have some kind of a dot on him. That is unfortunate. Looks like it's going to be Diabolica's last one left over for the team. Last one to potentially fight through Beatman, and he's still got a whole entire enemy team to fight through. Will get busted in waiting for his turn. Kevin Landon's trying to get a chance to play Lantania as well as... Oh, there's one Paladin in here, but he's the only one that got a chance to play, so it's only 4 now. Diabolica's trying to see if he can get a good position with that succubus. Oh, he doesn't move him though. He has got himself perched up in a good spot around the pillar. where he doesn't actually get to walk out of the pillar. Normally you get the succubus over there and succubus kind of coaxes him away from pillar, but the way he couldn't really move, I guess. Maybe if you're touching the pillar, you can't really walk. That was weird. But normally you want to pull him away from pillar. Stun reflected back at Beatman. This is going to go for a trick and big hammer hanging over Diabolical's head. Good reflect for Diabolical's trying to see if he can deny the damage from the hammer. There goes the second CC. Finally able to go for full go. Oh, the portal's open. He got the full army of the chaos. The full portals. Oh, bubble for Beatman trying to see if he can fight right through it. Some of these portals are still going to stick around for quite a bit. Like the shadow portal, still going to be able to tickle over Beatman little by little, do a bit of damage. As the second is trying to see if he can find himself a better angle versus the Paladin. Is going to go for the second CC. Diabolical's able to go for a big old so far. Maybe enough. Wait, Beatman, oh! Breaks out of it earlier than I expected it. And it looks like he's going to try to see if he can blast out the second stone into Diabolical's, who does go in for a trinket. Beatman hit with a fear. Trying to go for a bit of a dark iron racial. Does get to remove some kind of a daughter for himself. Maybe the curse of exhaustion potentially. Dia trying to find himself a better angle. Beatman throwing in a hammer above the man's head. He shouldn't be worried about the hammer, I don't think. But Beatman, as long as he can avoid the guy, he may be okay. Just throwing in as many hammers as he can. Trying to use the line of sight to give himself a bit of cover from Diabolical's, making him go the long direction. Making him go a long way around the pillar to try to see if he can find himself a better angle. But so far, Beatman just hasn't really had to worry too much about the damage taken. Is the succubus dead? No, succubus is still around. Finally, he gets Beatman out in the open. There goes the succubus CC. Maybe he can make a big play off of it. Reflect up against it was a hodge. Shot of Fury off of this one though. Gazebo, but it's going to be a big spell ward. It does give Beatman a little bit of that immunity to magic damage, but the succubus going to do whatever she can on her end to try to add a little bit extra physical damage to it. Whip him into shape. Soulfire does attack him with a shot of Fury Cannonball. Finally, Dia gives himself a bit of an opener. Going to be a wall bubble for Beatman. Got himself full wings at the ready. Diabolical trying to see if he can avoid him. It's going to be yet another gateway. Just trying to see if he can run away from the damage. Beatman bubble is down for just a second. As long as you can slow him down, you might be okay. Infernal join in. Portals are opening up. Let's see how a bunch of portals. 2 portals, 3 portals. All the portals are in. Shield defended itself for Beatman. Trying to see if he can maximize damage. Does he fight through the chaos? And as he can get on Diabolical, so the Diabolicals claim him. Second, see last second. Cannonball. Oh my god. It was so clutch. I was so close. Could be anyone's game. Get busted in. Does not want to give Diabolicals even a chance to come out of this one alive. Mortal Coil reflected back, taking him out. My goodness. Beatman does go in for a 1v4. Well done. But Dia was able to stop his spree there last second. That was well done. My goodness. Man, let's get us another one going, yeah?